My name is Carolyn Baker, and I am a former executive in the music and television and whatever industry. I was born in Athens, Georgia, and spent my first year there. There is probably no known music or any kind of theater or any kind of person in my family. Actually, I think I was dropped here by the Martians. When I was 5 or 6 years old, or 7 or 8, or I would be out on my back porch and I was looking up for the Martians to try to see why had they left me here. Who were these people and why was I here? Anyway, I grew up with my grandmother helped me tremendously. I loved her. She brought me up from Athens. We moved, my mom was still in college, and we moved to Cambridge, Mass, and Boston, Mass, and that's where I grew up. And one of the wonderful things about Boston was that at the time that I was growing up, which was in the Boston was where all the tours started, all the music tours started. And it was the place where we had the jazz workshop and everybody played there. And my mom and my Uncle Mac, they took me to all to the jazz workshop in Paul's Mall because they loved jazz. I went to this party and they were all people from television, right? And one of the guys was talking about a secretarial opening at the Dinah Shore show. And I said, oh, okay, cool, that they needed somebody black, you know. And so I said, okay, cool. And I wanted to go over there and see what a studio looked like. I walked on the lot of KTLA and something came over me. And I went in to this interview and they're talking about I'm overqualified, blah, 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 blah. And I said, yeah, but I'm ultimately qualified and I want this job. And I took that job. 3 months later, we were doing a game show, Dinah's Place it was called. And I was the secretary to the production manager, who was a redneck. He was such a redneck, racist little son of a bee. But anyway, I got him under control. I had been there 3 months, and Henry Jaffe was the production company, and his son Michael was doing a game show. I went to Henry and I said, I want to work on the game show. I want to be a production assistant on the game show. So Henry said, well, it's Michael's, you got to go talk to him. So I went to Michael and I said, Michael, I talked to your father about being the production assistant on the game show. And Michael said, oh, okay. And then I went into the writer's office and I said to them, okay, what is a production assistant and what do they do? And they fell out laughing and they gave me a stopwatch, and I was probably the worst production assistant you ever have known because I had to do timings and everything, and I'm like, you know, I'm creative. You know, I don't like numbers and detail like that. But anyway, 6 months in, we were doing the Easter Seals telethon that we did every year with, and I told Fred Tattershaw, who was our producer, I said, I want to be a talent coordinator. And so and he said, okay. I said, for the show, and I said, and I could start by working on the Easter Seals telethon. And so he said, okay. He said, well, listen, Here is a list. He said, you've been here 6 months, you know no one. I said, yeah, but I could do it. He gave me a list of people they couldn't get for Diamond. And one of those people was Sammy Davis Jr. So I called Sammy's office and I spoke to Shirley Rhodes, his assistant. And I said, I'm a little black girl from Boston. I want to be a talent booker. So they gave me a list of people that wouldn't do the show. If Sammy would do the show, he'd make my career. And Shirley fell out laughing. And she went to Sammy, and they came back, and Sammy came and he did the show. And he came to do the show, and he sang, he danced, he might have cooked. He taped a segment for he sang Candyman. They for the Easter Seals telethon. He gave $10,000, and I had died and gone to heaven, and I was out in the hallway, and Dinah and Fred and everybody, they're all surrounding him and kissing up to him, and all of a sudden Sammy says, hold it. I just want you to know one thing. I am here for only one reason. I am here for that little girl over there. And I could still cry.
So I face that final curtain. Yeah, my friends, I'll say it clear and state my case, of which I'm certain. Don't you know I lived a life that's full? Yeah, it was full. I traveled each and every highway and more, much more than this. Don't you know I did it my way? Yeah, regrets I had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do, and I saw it through without exemption. And you know I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way, yeah. Lord, I laughed, I loved and cried, and you know I had my fill, my share of losing. But now as my tears subside, I gotta tell you, I find it so amusing. I mean to think I did all that. And may I say, not in a shy way. Oh no, oh no, not me. I just did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not. I mean to say the things that he truly feels, and not the words